There we go. Okay, let's have a look. Where's the last stats question? There it is. Okay, so we need to draw a graph of this at some stage, I think. Have I got a pen option here or not? Oh, it doesn't look like I've got a pen on. I can't draw on this, so that's failed miserably, but not to worry. You're asking what is the independent and dependent. It's usually given x and y in that order. And if you scroll down here to part C, find the equation of linear regression line giving T. So what is the temperature in terms of R? So T depends on R. Yeah, so T depends on R. So T is the dependent variable. So we actually just get out of there and we get to our TI Nspire one more time. We go across, we get a fresh 2 columns, and T depends on R. So that's going to be the Y, and this is going to be the X. Yep, so the temperature depends on rainfall in the month. Kind of makes sense. So shout out the rainfall then. 1, 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, 13, 15, 17, 20, and that's it? Yeah. Brilliant. So 10 entries, 10 particular months, and temperature attached to it. 2, 6, 9, 3, 11, 16, 15, 20, 25, 23. Would you have the feeling it's generally increasing? Yeah. Temperature seems to be increasing the more rainfall you have for some reason. Yeah, looks to have a positive correlation. We're going to do something slightly different. It's not asked for on the question, but we're going to draw a graph of that just for fun. Yeah, so document, insert. Now you might think we're going to put a graph in there, but it's not a graph. What is it? Data and statistics. We're analysing data and statistics. Here is the rainfall, and here is the temperature. So you can see there visually. If you couldn't see it from the table, you can see visually it's quite strong positive correlation. Okay, so you might be asked to sketch that on a regular graph and on graph paper and plot the points vaguely accurately. Okay, and we can actually go from here and do the line of best fit, but I want to come back to that. I'm going to go back to my spreadsheet again. I'm going to click on column L and we're going to go through the same menu. Menu, statistics, stat calculation. How many variables? 2 this time, yeah? So 2 variable statistics because we're measuring both rainfall and temperature. And the X list was the rainfall and the Y list was the temperature. You have to get them the right way around. Yeah, otherwise you'll throw out a different equation for the regression. Frequency list. Well, there is only one of each entry. Nowhere in our data set does it say there's 5 months with a temperature of 12. Okay, so we just leave it as 1, 1, 1. And the results in column M, because we've got nothing in there. And you've done all the work here. Let's just have a quick look through. X bar is 9.6. The X variable was the rainfall. The average rainfall was 9.6. And if you go down here, you've got Y bar. And Y bar was temperature. So Y was temperature, so the average temperature is 13. So that might be useful. But if you scroll down even further, you will have a magical R value. Now, it doesn't really mean much for you at this moment in life, but next year for IB, you'll be interpreting R values. 0.95. Does anyone know what the biggest R value possible is? 1. If you get an R value of 1, it means all the points you've got are on a perfectly straight upward sloping line. So the closer the R value is to 1, the stronger the correlation between the 2 variables. It doesn't mean one causes the other, but there seems to be a link between the 2 of them. Yeah? So 0.95 is very strong positive correlation. You don't have to be able to work out this figure. That's not part of the syllabus, but it's good to be able to interpret it, I think. Yeah? And you'll notice down here you've still got the mins and the maxes and the quartiles and the medians, which is pretty good. What you don't have is the answer for part C, find the equation of linear regression. Yeah, so the stats menu that we hit the button on, it didn't give us the equation of linear regression. Yeah, so we want to draw a line of best fit basically. And we can do that from the same menu and we'll give it a go. So menu, statistics, stat calculation, and can you see it now? So option number 3 is linear regression. So this gets you the y equals mx plus c or mx plus b. The same thing. The x list was the rainfall, and the y list was temperature depending on rainfall. I'm going to save equation to F1, why not? And we're going to put the results into column O, because that's the free column, hopefully. Now let's have a little look up here. So you've got to interpret this now. M is the gradient, m times by x plus b. So m is 1.19, well 1.20 if we round it to 3 sig fig. The b is 1.497, so that's 1.50, and it's given us the r value there. Okay, so remember these numbers, 1.20 for m and 1.50. So when we go back to here, the equation for linear regression, t equals m times by r plus c. Got to get the numbers in the right place. All good? And although it's not asked for in the question, why don't we go to this graph now here and do the same thing on here. Menu, analyze the data, and you see the option number 6, regression, mx plus b. And you can actually get the equation directly on the visual there. Okay. Now don't forget the y value is the t, so it's t equals 1.19819 times by r, the x variable, plus 1.49734. Fabulous.